Here's another one. Very often we want to present our idea to somebody, right? And one of the things we learn with the actual tactics of the straight line is we ask for permission to tell someone about our product or idea or whatever we're offering. We don't just start, pitching them and, hey, here's what it is. We say to them, listen, if you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share an idea with you. You got a minute? Now, notice my tonality. I say, if you have 60 seconds, I want to share an idea. Got a minute? You have a minute? I don't say to you, got a minute? Huh? I say, watch the difference. Say, if you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share an idea with you. Got a minute? That's called the reasonable man tone. I'm just, got a minute? You're reasonable, I'm reasonable. Anybody's got a minute. Watch this. If you say to someone, if you have 60 seconds, I want to share an idea with you. You got a minute? 99% of people say, well, yeah, sure, I got a minute, because everybody's got a minute. If you say it like, if you have 60 seconds, I want to share an idea with you. You got a minute? Your response rate drops by half. Because one way, you are the reasonable, kind, helping person. At this point, you've already established that you care, that you really want to know about their health and well-being, whatever it might be, right? So you're already in a bit of rapport, and then you give them that reasonable man tone saying, you got a minute? And bam, they're like, yeah, sure, why not? He's a nice guy, he cares, he's just like me, and bam, you're in. And an example of the reasonable man would be where you say to someone, on your closing, let's say you get them to a point where they're almost there, and you say, give me a shot, you're going to be very, very impressed. And you say, sound fair enough? Now look at my hands. Sound fair enough? My body language for reasonableness is I put my hands up. Sound fair? And I say, sound fair enough? And the implied words that come after that is, I'm reasonable, you're reasonable, it's a reasonable thing, right? I don't have to say, I'm reasonable. Without the tonality, I have to say, listen, I'm reasonable, you're reasonable, come on, just do it. But I don't have to say it. Instead I say, sound fair enough? And your voice saying, well, he's being reasonable, I want to be reasonable. I've always taught it's good to be reasonable, and that's the unconscious communication. You start to actually affect someone else's dialogue. That's your reasonable man tonality.